G2 Esports versus Team Secret. What happens when you pit these two titans against one another? You can be really good at playing Siege, but you will have your own garbage moments. This is the most Benny Hill-ass moment you have seen this past week. Hello everybody and welcome back to Lock In, episode number 2, your weekly recap show of CJX, the game itself, the esport, and everything juicy that's happening in the background. Finally, stage 2 has begun in our competitive calendar, and we have so much to talk about, so let's sit together and unwrap these beautiful gifts that week 1 have given us all together. I know all of you are EML fans out there, and if you're there, you are looking at one game and one game only for the kickoff week, and really the kickoff first day of EML Stage 2. That's none other than the EWC Grand Final, G2 Esports versus Team Secret. What happens when you pit these two titans of modern Siege X against one another? Well, one of them shits the bed. Eventually. That was actually Team Secret in the game. Unfortunate for them because on G2 side, they look so coordinated, so team focused. Stompin was running circles around everybody in Team Secret. Alama was so cocky, as always, even in the interview and on social media. This is exactly what we're looking for in G2. New hope for Team Secret, however. Having talked to the staff in the background, it seems like after their victory at EWC, they took time off. They had the moment to reset. There's not a lot of time between the start of the stage and the end of EWC, and so they got rusty in scrims, and they got rusty also in the opening week, losing to G2, losing to Team Falcons in Playday number 2. The hope is that they recover, but let's just be clear, the playoffs are going to be really tough to get into, but hopefully that doesn't slip away from them because EML is really tight this stage, even more so than before, and the fight for playoffs only gets hotter. This week, I was personally very impressed by Envy in the NAL, the deadly sin of Envy. Last stage, they were number 10, not looking good at all, with one simple stage. Haters hate this one simple trick. You bring on Aiden, and it does so much work for the team. 19 years old, being brought on over the summer, and suddenly the Team Envy that is, jumps up from number 10 to now top of the leaderboard. Yes, it's week 1, it's 2 matches, but 6 points for a team that barely could manage that in stage 1 is a huge improvement. Even though you don't expect these teams to be at the tippity top for long or really to qualify, maybe even for the major, it's still a goal to have, and really being in the top 6 because that will guarantee you a spot at the regional finals for either EML, NAL, or any region, and potentially should you win that and upset, you get a clear spot at the Invitational, which is really, really huge. More experience, more money. It's always good for any player in situations like that. The GOAT himself now has a charm in the game. You might think, oh, but Shaiko was tweeting maybe that he's going to retire. He's going to be having very cryptic tweets here and there. Yeah, but he baited all of us. Let's just admit to it right now. After the loss that happened EWC, fair enough, but Shaiko is in. He's got a charm in the game, and everybody from his team was running it also during their matchups with Team Falcons. Take a look, go subscribe to him on Twitch, and take a look at that charm for yourself in-game. And with the Munich Major coming up as well, of course, there has been a skin bundle released for you to take a look at and have for your own, of course, made by one of our own, Kubi, and of course, it's a background representing not just Munich, but really Germany in general. You'll see the Brandenburg Gate. You'll see representations of the Siege Fest that we'll have soon in Bavaria, but also a cute, so cute, little Dachshund themed drone. It's incredible. I love the theme drones that we've been having over the past 2 and a bit years. It's great, and I'm so glad that we're getting a cute little Dachshund that you can little drive around with the little feet. It's so cute. Even the GOAT can mess up really, really bad. So don't be too hard on yourself when you mess up in your own games. We're going to take a look at it together here. Just to give you context, Falcons v Machiko. Eventually, Falcons win in this, but this is the most Benny Hill-ass moment you have seen this past week. This is just the new player on the squad of Raiden for Machiko, running around with Shaiko, fighting one against the other. Pistols are out. They're trying to knife one another, and it just ends in absolute disaster. Nobody can believe what just happened. So just to tell you, you can be really good at playing Siege, but you will have your own garbage moments to go through no matter how good you are. Don't be so hard on yourself when you mess up. Now, one team that I'm really happy for in NAL is M80. The way that Stage 1 ended for them, where they got to the playoffs and then just were so close, just the way that the bracket really ended up being, where they couldn't advance and get the invite spot for EWC over the summer, they were devastated. You saw it all over Twitter, all over the player socials. The one person I was really heartbroken for is Fabian, because he spent so much time and effort preparing them over the year that you were expecting more, and you should be still. And I know I spoke to Fabian, we're both old, we talk, we send like, I don't know, letters to one another during the summer, and he said, "My dear Milosh, I have been so busy at work." He legitimately has been, to the point where his wife was complaining to me about how busy he was. That's how much work that they were putting in, and I love to see that paying off in the opening week of NAL. To me, there's one player and one play in particular that really stood out, and that is Likefak. Yeah, I know, I'm revealing my EML bias, French bias and all of that, but still, if you want to watch a masterclass of how to roam and use the environment to your advantage, this is the play. And we want to watch it together here. Just to give you context, they're playing Machiko, a game Falcons eventually win, but he's getting pushed by a shield. He's in a very difficult position here in the cash hallway. He already drops one player behind him, so Akui is on the floor. He isolates Nadora on his own, so no more shield to play against. He goes and gets the finisher on Akui after that, and what does he do in the meantime? He gets the call, and he hears it. There's somebody coming up that's right and now, that's rappelling up to the connector window. He gets the kill off of that. Now he's in rafters solo. He gets the ping. There's somebody below, and who is that? It's Teb. He's trying to spot him and really take him out himself with his operator, with his marks. And what does he do? Likefak plays rafters, is able to drop down and play around every single piece of that garage and then get a kill off of that as well. He makes it 4 in total and just absolutely demolishes Machiko in this round. It's over. Even Solotov is typing PM in the chat, which is exactly what you want to see. Beautiful masterclass in Rome, pretty much soloing half of the map on his own. He actually does something very similar in the round after that. He's able to net 3 kills, if I'm not mistaken, on a Rome in Strip. So very good. Watch this, learn from this man, because at the same time that he's playing, he's also leading the team. He's the IGL for the squad, giving them macro callouts. So incredible. That's the skill we want to see. In SAL, it has to be FaZe versus Loud. Big hitters against one another. Loud also that's really trying to hit up the upper echelon of SAL. Now, for EML, Falcons versus G2, arguably the best 2 teams in the entire EML that are playing up against one another in the best of 1 series. I don't know, sparks will fly, barns will be burned, and I'm gonna love every second of it. And lastly, it has to be in NA, M80 versus Wildcard. The story of M80, the recovery they've had, but also Wildcard being, well, the wildcard of the region. I love to see it, and I can't wait to see it, because this is a big kind of proving ground for both of these squads. But really, I could go on. Every single region has incredible matches that have big implications on the early start of Stage 2. So my opinion, my rundown for you, watch every single game you can the second week. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes episode 2 of Lock In. A hell of a week that we've had, upsets galore all over the world, but of course, a lot of impact on our scoreboard, and we'll see how that all kind of trickles around all through this stage and in preparation for the Munich Major. Remember to get your tickets, by the way. You have to be there to witness it for yourself. Thank you so much for being a part of the second episode of Lock In. We're going to give you all the tea on next week's episode, so stick around for more of that. Remember, lock in.